Hey guys, I'm putting in the third and fourth bed. I have to get some more shavings, but my son had somebody bring a tractor in here and clean up all that mess. That saved me weeks of work. Oh my God. It's so much nicer. I can put in two beds instead of one and then rake for a week and do another. So, and I was able to back my van down in here, so because it hasn't rained, so that I can get the stuff close to the garden bed, so that I can actually get it done. I mean, we were having to go. Let me turn you real slow here. Slowly, slowly. Way up there. Will you see that white stick? Way up there. That is the edge of the property. Okay. Let me zoom in. Way up there. That's the fence post. Okay. Let me zoom back out. Okay. Now, we just having to tote it, everything, either on by back, in our hands, or in a wheelbarrow, all the way from there, all the way to here. Now we don't have to. Now we can drive it back here as long as it hadn't been raining. Now Lucas has a four-wheel drive, so you know he can get back here most of the time anyway, unless it's just sloppy nasty. But we're supposed to have some dry, hot weather coming, so I'll be able to get in here and do a lot of work. I can also get the water back here because we don't have a well yet. All the water for these plants has to be carried in by hand. So, in bottles and 2-liter bottles and milk jugs and things like that. So, at least now I can drive it back here instead of having to make several trips and be worn out before I ever even really get started on the garden. Now, speaking of the garden, if you're wondering what that blue thing is over there hanging up, I had to tie a string around it. When I came in, I scared off 2 deer. They ate one of the pepper plants. They started munching on one of the fruit trees. They ate all the leaves off of the grapevines. And they nibbled the top of one of the tomato plants. It had 7 dust on it, so I imagine that's why they quit messing with it, because it probably didn't taste good. Almost 7 dust the crap out of everything else. Just because. If they don't like the taste of it, that works for me, and it keeps bugs off as well. I won't be able to put 7 dust on later, because they'll start fruiting, and I don't want to eat that, you know. But right now, they're just growing a little bit. So I moved that box down there with the white rope around it, because it has all my boxes from my no-dig garden. It was a box that a bathtub came in, so I tied a rope around it and threw all the boxes in it and used it as a sled. And it's been rained on a couple of times, and one corner was broke. That's why I tied the rope around it. But I've got a boatload of boxes in the van. They're all going in that. Because that's the best place I can think to put it to keep them from blowing around and keep them contained is in that box down there. Boxes inside of a box. So, third and fourth bed's going in. I got 3 more tomato plants, 1 more bell pepper, and an Italian oregano. And then I've still got these plants over here to plant. I got a few plants over here. So, I've got enough compost and manure for 3 beds, which should be enough to do all of the plants that I have right now. And then I'm going to start putting in beds and getting them ready for direct seeding. Since it's already almost summer, I can't get a lot of stuff grown in time, but there's summer and fall plantings I can do. So I'm going to get the beds ready for that. I just didn't have time. There's only so much of me that can go around, and I can't do a lot. So I couldn't get it done this spring. And so I'll just have to deal with get what I can get, and then get planted what I can get planted, that is, and then harvest what I can before the real depression hits. But by the time this thing rolls around to next year, all these garden beds will be in play. And there's going to be, I'm going to put one or 2 more here on this side of that tree right there. That's going to be hauled out of here. I'm starting the fencing this week. I got a bunch of fence panels. I probably don't have enough to do but 1/3 of the garden right now, but we're going to put up what we can put up. And then I'm going to go to that place where I got all those free fence panels and get a whole boatload more. I'll probably get those tomorrow. If I can get the stuff out of the van, I'll get it tomorrow. And I'll just back the van down in here and unload them directly where I need them, rather than have to carry them, which is what we were having to do before anytime we wanted to do something. So least we can get the materials where we need them now easily. Unless it's raining, we can get right to it with the van. Makes my job a whole lot simpler. A whole lot simpler. And I still got to get a couple of sawhorses, though, so I can set them up on the sawhorses and trim them up. Because the bottoms, every one of these fence panels are rotten. That's why the people replaced them. Well, I just cut the bottoms off and make the fence a little shorter. May not be tall enough to keep out deer, but if I notice, once I get the fence up, if I notice there's anything coming in the garden like deer, what I'll do is I'll scab a 2x4 onto it, sticking straight up, and then I'll stretch, you know, some sort of fencing across the top to keep the stuff from jumping over. And the solid fence will also keep out rabbits. And I don't know if it'll keep out raccoons and stuff, but it'll keep out rabbits and probably, you know, armadillos, unless they dig really hard, because they're going all the way down, touching the ground. So we'll see. We'll just do the best we can do is what we can do, right? It's all you can do. Anyway, guys, just thought I'd give you an update on some more garden beds and what was going on. And y'all hit the like button and the thumbs up or whatever, and comment and subscribe, tell your friends, share it, all kinds of good stuff. And y'all come back to see me.